Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV, live in the flesh, live and direct in the flesh. You already know what time it is. Culture Cams is back with a green hat. F. Godani is back, repping the Netherlands with the Ajax top. Myself, my Okoji, we're in here. Listen, there's a lot to get into, man. Round of 16 fixtures were nice, but before we get into all of that, make sure you pause for a second right now. Like, share, subscribe. Go and retweet the tweet that went out. Go and tell people to get involved. There's 200 odd of you in here. Let's get it cracking. We've got a lot to talk about. We've seen Jogo Bonito being restored. We've seen Portugal being freed of their shackles. We've seen Spain get dumped out. We've seen a lot of agendas get cooked up. There's a lot to get into, so make sure people come and enjoy the enjoyment. You already know what time it is. What are you, man, saying? You good?
All blessed, bro. All blessed, man. Can't complain.
You don't sound it, man. Come on, man. You should be that stack. You, man, got through.
Yeah, listen, I can't lie to you. It's been over 2 weeks of 50+ World Cup games. We're just about to get a 2-day break, brother. I cannot lie to you. As exciting as it's been very hectic, but we got a lot to get into, bro. There's too many storylines throughout this World Cup, man.
Honestly, way too many. Can't wait saying the people were saying that your immune system was weak. They were getting on to you, but
real men hype.
They don't know. You know what I mean? Real men go through experiences. We only tell them what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's what a real man does. You just tell them what they want to hear, and you deal with business. You know what I'm saying? But I don't expect these people to understand. I'm trying to train the youth. You know, I'm trying to train them.
Train them about what?
I'm trying to train them. I'm trying to show them the way of. Listen, I'm telling you guys, yeah. When I release my book and my subscriptions, just make sure you're there.
Man said my subscription hype.
I'm sick of this guy.
OnlyFans hype. Like always, guys, remember Manscaped 20% off STTV. You know what to do. Go and get 20% off. Holiday season. Go and get involved. But let's get into it, man. I think there's only one place to start. It is. I don't even want to call it an upset because Fred, we were talking on Sunday, and I think that the consensus was if Morocco can stay in there and be a little get in their face a little bit and be sturdy, they were in a chance. But it's only the fourth time an African team's reached the quarterfinal. It's the first time in Morocco's history they've done it. The first African team to win a penalty shootout. We witnessed history, but we have to get into it, man. Moroccans, real men. Amrabat, he said I was with the physio to 3 a.m. We were just discussing about what I can do to make sure I can play. Real injections before the game.
Like, you hear that? Fighting through the pain barrier to make sure they don't let the team down.
Not complaining that the team's too old on that. Not complaining that the team's too old.
Is it? Hey,
in fact, hold on. Where's my? You know what that was? I've got it here.
What you got?
Yes, real men.
Hey,
Africa. Real men.
Big up Morocco,
made in the motherland.
Big up Morocco.
Let's talk about that, man.
That was incredible, to be fair. I think the way they went through the group stages, no one kind of expected that. They came out
top of the group,
unbeaten, 7 points, top of the group. No one really expected that. And even though it wasn't the hardest group, you could say, the fact that they kind of came out of it comfortably, you got to give them credit. But then
they had former world champions and the second best team ranked in the world.
Yeah.
And they conceded 1 goal.
So you have to give them their credit. But then coming against Spain, I think this is where kind of everybody expected them to kind of come unstuck, bruv. And I can't lie to you. Even in the first half, you could see they were going to give him a game. From the moment, was it Boufal on the left wing, took Llorente to salsa lessons, brother. You could see it was just going to be a game. Him and Mazraoui on that left. And then Ziyech and Hakimi on that side. They were wing dominant, bro. So as much possession as Spain had, they were toothless in attack. And I think we said that throughout this kind of tournament. I think they tricked us in that first game against Costa Rica. And I think Costa Rica was so bad, they almost fooled us into thinking, you know what, Spain have bags of goals in them. But outside of Morata, they really struggled to score, bro. And funnily enough, I feel like Enrique got it wrong in this game, bro. Not starting Morata, especially the rich vein of form he's in. Starting Asensio in like a false 9 role when he hadn't played this in the entire tournament. He played right wing and Ferran Torres was floating through the middle. And then all of a sudden you start Marcus Llorente at right back. I think the only thing you kind of say is maybe the Rodri experiment worked. But outside of that, I don't think Spain covered themselves with much glory. And you got to give it up to fucking Morocco, who took the opportunity there. I always said, listen, when it comes to the lottery, it's a gamble, but when you got a goalkeeper in that kind of form, Bono, bruv, he pulled off them saves and won it for them single-handedly. You got to give it
wasn't
to
he
him.
like one of the best goalkeepers in the league last season for Seville, wasn't it? Like,
listen, you got to give him his dues, bro. That's the only Bono we recognize. You too hype.
you too hype.
Said that. Real Bono here now, bro. So for me, listen, as we said, the brotherhood is strong in this World Cup. You know what I'm saying? We're playing in holy lands. Trust me. Through to the next round.
But do you know what I think? What's that?
Hey, you saw it today. Busquets thought he got it. No. The power of Allah is with us. Takbir. My brothers. Hey, I'm happy for them, though, man. As you said, African team, do you know what I mean? Getting through to the quarterfinals, it's not something you see very often. And it's something that's becoming more and more frequent, bro. So big up Morocco.
Do you know what I find crazy? As much as I agree with what you're saying, like, I don't even want to try and think of where Spain like got things wrong and whatnot. When I watched that performance, I saw Busquets not able to receive any passes in the midfield. I saw Morocco set up and make sure that Spain couldn't get through the middle, and they had to go wide. I saw them tackle with their lives. I saw them break Spain down. Like, I saw a very strong and disciplined performance. And in the preview, when we were talking about stuff before, we were like, if they can stay in the game for 60 minutes, they've got a chance. They stayed in the game. They didn't have to weather any sort of storms, apart from maybe one or two moments. And then, of course, I can't remember who it was that hit the post at the end. There was never any real moments where I thought, it might be on top for these guys. No, they actually were. Spain were probably looking at a game thinking that, what, you know, the passing. The issue with Spain, yeah, you know, when you're playing tiki-taka, yeah, and teams are passing the ball and there's no hesitancy because that's what they do. You think, it's calm, they're in control. They weren't in control. Even though they were doing that, they were kind of looking like, we can't do anything. Let's just keep moving it and hope something happened. I didn't see no breaking of lines. I didn't see anything that Morocco team were worried about at any point. And like you said, even when they managed to get through, Bono was doing what he had to do. So the performance for me was
outside of that first group game though. Could you not see that as well? Even in the Germany, they looked a little bit toothless, and that wasn't the best Germany side. And even in that last game, did they lose that last game as well? If I'm not mistaken, they lost it, didn't they?
Who, Spain?
Yeah.
Well, no team got nine points.
Are you talking about Spain's last match?
Yeah.
They lost to Japan now.
Yeah. So for me, it's like after that first game, kind of deceivinghood, you could kind of see the toothlessness really come out within them, in my opinion. Aside from Morata popping up here and there, I don't know what you lot thought, but I could see an upset here for sure.
Bro, for me, Spain, like, obviously the first game was good. You know what I mean? We're not going to doubt the quality of a player like Pedri or whatever. We know they're very good players. However, with Spain, for me, bro, it just looked like a poor man's 2010, 2012 kind of team. You know what I mean? Like, the possession. But the thing is, that possession and passing around and dominating the ball, that was all good when they had the absolute quality of Iniestas, of Xavis, of David Silva, Cesc Fabregas, etc. So when you're doing it with this team, they haven't got the quality for it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't got the quality to then be penetrative. And even that team, they were only winning games 1-0. They were winning games 1-0. Okay, they exploded in 2012, but they had pure top ability. And I feel like with this team, it just kind of felt like a ripoff for me. Do you know what I mean? The era's changed, bro. That was all good back then. All that tippy-tappy stuff worked back then. Now, where guys are athletic, aggressive, there's a whole different mindset. You could see that it was going to come eventually. And that's why I was confident that if they go through and France or Portugal even or England wouldn't have the ball against Spain. But I think on the counter-attack and just overrunning them, it would have eventually ended up happening. And people end up saying, you know, PMP hype or whatever. But I keep trying to tell people, as much as we might not like it, the perfect player in today's game has to have PMP, bro. You have to be PMP and have the technical ability as well. And this Spain team just lacked it. The first game of the tournament, I said, this is the least real men team I've ever seen in my life. They won 7-0. It was looking a bit concerning for a second, but then I was just, eventually it showed. They won one game this tournament. One. But they had the hype that they were going to go and dominate the whole thing. And I'm not talking like possession football is out of the game, but the way that they do theirs has no penetration to it. It's different with Man City, for example, who have KDB's what's the word? KDB's devastation with Haaland, and Foden can dribble, and these guys didn't even have like proper dribblers out there until Williams came onto the pitch, and it was just like, nah, this team's mid. So for me, they're lucky that it got 0-0 on penalties and they're out, because I think it would have been an embarrassing performance. They would have got embarrassed at one point in this tournament, in my opinion.
On that point, yeah, just a quick one, because there's some super chats. But it makes it on this whole PMP and tic-tac and technical security, it brings the point of Alcantara can give you the sort of balance, because he can do the gritty, but the technical security is there. But there's two sort of super chats here. One's from Ash I that says, Jude, Foden and Saka's a better trio than Pedri, Fati and Gavi. Pedri carries the others. They deliver every time for club and country. Tech security hat. I thought that was interesting because some of the players you mentioned.
We talk soon.
But the other one is from Messi 2i, which saying Gavi and Pedri were always going to get eaten by men in caps. So that's to your point about the technical security and being there.
Two teenage boys getting picked out in all of this, bro. I'm like, what's going on here? I was bullying kids now, yeah?
But that's the thing, though. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I feel like when your talisman are those two, like when they're the ones that you're relying on a lot, and you saw today, Gavi, he had a terrible game today. Pedri, I don't even think had a good game. But when you're relying on two young players like that, then it's an issue. Like, you're gonna end up struggling. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you need, sometimes in these type of moments, you need them experienced ones to kind of get you ahead. But even the guys that were up there, Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo, Asensio, as much as I don't think they're experienced enough at like that, even at this level. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Bro,
so I just don't think.
Asensio's played 20 minutes of first team football this season, and he's starting in knockout stages at the World Cup for Spain, and they're meant to be a serious threat. This is my thing. It's like, this is why I'm saying even like Enrique for me shouldn't be getting away with this. For someone who we were saying, his tactical and coaching ability can get them through and everything. Today, I actually feel like he got that wrong. Morata, in that vein of form, we always say when a player hits red hot at an international tournament, don't take him out and call him off. He's just won you the in the group stage. He's won you games, so cool. Use him now in moments where you need him. For me, it just didn't make sense.
See, the thing is with me as well, like one thing, this is what I said on, people can check as well with Luis Enrique. When did Enrique become this manager? Enrique did not play this football with Barcelona.
Euros.
The Euros, all of a sudden people were saying he's on Pep and Klopp level, that the football he plays is unbelievable. If anyone was really there to watch the Barcelona MSN team, they played diagonals all the way to Neymar and Messi's feet, and they played Busquets' role under Enrique was becoming redundant. He was getting bypassed. It was PK and the centre halves over, and then Rakitic was picking up the second balls and moving from there. I don't know where people got this idea that Spain or this that Enrique is this popping like tiki-taka kind of gaffer. He's not. He's never been that. He did that for Spain. They had a cute little Euros, and then this tournament again, a cute little tournament. But really and truly, that's not even the type of manager he is. I remember Barcelona fans literally wanted this guy out because his football was so bad.
Yeah,
I really don't know where.
You know what I find funny though about him, yeah,
or with Luis Enrique, I really don't.
It's separate to what you're talking about, but I find it hilarious that Hakimi trolled him with that celebration, because that's the celebration him and Ramos were doing at PSG, and obviously he didn't take Ramos to World Cup, so that's why he did the celebration to troll Enrique. So I find it hilarious, bro. It's so mad, but you're right, especially when production is not here, but Leah's was telling us about managers, World Cup. You need managers.
The thing is, though, I will say
didn't really see it in this game.
I don't think it's an identity thing that Luis Enrique is all of a sudden a proper manager. I think he just makes use of what he has, if that makes sense. And I think with the Spain team, you're kind of forced into, because you look at it, bro, that was a 4-3-3 today, but there was 8 or 7 midfielders on that team. All 3 of those strikers were midfielders. 2 of those that back 4 were midfielders. So it's like he's almost got an overproduction, and he's having to play that because he's got almost an overabundance of that. But for me,
you've got Morata there, bro. You've got Morata. You've got two real wingers. You can't use that. We can't even use that excuse because you've either going to put Ferran Torres up top, yeah, who he actually kind of does decent in that role, but you got
have him wide today.
Exactly, he was wide right, but you've got two real wingers on the bench in Williams and Fatty. Who Williams, I think every time he came on looked decent, and then you've got a proper striker there. So it was his choice to go with this whole midfielder thing, and this is what I'm saying. It was just a rip-off of the 2010, 2012 teams where they had false nines, or more 2012 because they had David Villa, but in 2010, but 2012 where it was just bare false nines and blah, blah, blah. He tried to do that. So we can't even try and say he's working with his tools. He had other tools and he decided to use that. So they didn't have that penetration, bro. That's just all it was. You saw it against Germany, you saw it against Japan, and Morocco, it went to penalties and they bounced out. But people can say, oh, it's just penalties. But one shot on target in 120 minutes. It was a poor performance, bro. It was
even on the other side.
One last thing, mate, with what you were talking about with Morocco did the best thing that you could have done, and that was just get a man onto Busquets, and that was their striker. But the thing is, Busquets of old, yeah, would have been okay because you can mark Busquets if you want, but then the ball is going to Iniesta, it's going to Xavi, it's going to even better players than him. When he's meant to be the supreme player in that team, he can get marked out the game, bro. Busquets ain't some elusive player. He's not elusive. Yeah, he's press resistant when he gets the ball and stuff, but he's 35 years old now. You get onto him and his peak, and that's why I said he did not want to see Jude Bellingham, so he ran quickly. He ran because Bellingham would have run him over. But that's another discussion.
Why did you whisper it like that? So we got a super chat from Natty Boy that says Amrabat class performance. Show the other two up. The stats here: 120 minutes played, of course, 49 touches, 25 passes completed, 9 ball recoveries, 7 out of 7 duels on the ground, 4 out of 4 tackles, 3 fouls, 1 clearance, 1 interception. This is someone that was not supposed to play the game. Absolutely bossed it. He's not his older brother. He's third, if I'm right. He's not actually played that many minutes this season as well, but there's going to be a move coming. Like I tweeted a few days ago saying that around the 16 is always interesting because there's an opportunity that you could probably get bounced at the tournament, but it's that performance that kind of goes, well done, mate. We're going to put a bid in. And that's what he did today. The performance was like, I'm convinced we're putting a bid in now, just before the price goes up even more. So honestly, when you talk about performances and rising for your nation, I think he literally, that is a midfielding performance. And now they should be proud of themselves, man. Like when you look at it's a side topic, but when a lot of the talk about African nations and whatnot, it's sort of disorganization and things just being left. Their men's and women's and their federation are doing things properly, bro. They held a sick AFCON for the women's. Both teams are doing stuff that they've never done before. Their facilities in Morocco look like something out of flipping Wakanda, bro. Like it's actually insane. So like they're doing their thing, and I'm really, really happy. I seen some Edgware Road. Edgware Road was jumping. Amsterdam was jumping through it. I've seen clips from Amsterdam, yeah, bro. Jumping.
My brother there as well. My brother was sending me videos. He's like, bro, it's going nuts.
Bro,
it's like, bro, half Amsterdam is Moroccan. It's
exactly. Crazy. So no, it's good to see, man. And of course, I know we've touched on Ziyech before, but again, another great performance.
I saw Ziyech winning back post headers.
Bro, say people are like, oh my gosh, he's pressing. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I never seen you act like that.
Bro, but there's someone we need to talk about.
Country is different.
There's someone that we need to talk about. QPR, you know, we're leaving a little something. Ilya Share, you know, we're leaving a little something, you know, just say like
World Cup representatives. You know what I'm saying? Not many championship teams can say that.
Listen,
in our squad. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about coming back for the games next week. Don't worry, you go and try and win a little something. But
I'm gonna see him in January.
That was a good one. Love for the super chats. Keep sending them in. Of course, we've got loads of games to go through. Definitely got to talk about the other game that was on today. Where to start with this one? Where to start? Where to? He wants to say it.
It's uncomfortable.
He wants to say it.
It's uncomfortable.
Have to say bye-bye. But listen, man. As my dear friend says, the proof is in the pudding. The shackles are off the feet. They are dancing like Mary Mary. They said, we don't have to play with him. Thank you so much. thank you so much. You know when Pep went, thank you so much. That performance, that is what you call the shackles are off. A hat trick, a first hat trick of the World Cup. Great finishes, swashbuckling football. Bruno looking like a supremo, like Pepe, real men. When I say last of a dying breed,
a CEO of the company.
Last of a dying breed.
CEO of the company, bro. Are you
last
dumb?
of a dying breed? Older than the referee, you know. Older than the referee, bro. Getting on the goal sheet. That was, if there was ever a performance to say, don't forget about us, we're in this too, that is how you do it. Because Switzerland, like we mentioned in the last episode, they got through their campaign, the only team in Europe to get through the last 5 major championships, get to knockouts and everything. Got a little team, whatever. Nah, you lot, pack your bags, go home, go back to preseason, go and do your thing. We're going to try and do something here. All around the pitch, great performances. You're seeing people like Ruben Neves coming with 20 minutes left. It's like, wow, this team has depth. Like, Leao's coming, scoring goals. Cam's stroking his chin and Leao scoring. Like, it's a good feeling.
With that. He's doing exactly what I asked. Team of the tournament, please. That's it.
Hey, listen, Maze. Do you know who we're not giving the most credit to though? I feel like
the gaffer.
100%.
The gaffer.
Fernando Santos. And I'm saying that because he gets a lot of disrespect, if you like, or a lot of people criticizing him for his style of play or whatever. But bruv, big decision that is to drop Ronaldo. The experience he has, your captain, your country's all-time scorer, especially what he's done for you as well. He's won you the Euros. He's brought you the Nations League. So he's got that special spot for him as well. But I just feel like that took fucking cojones, bro, to drop Ronaldo and say, you know what? I'm going to go with a team that I actually think works best for this team. And you saw the shackles fully off. And I think that was Portugal almost sending the first sign, in my opinion, to say, listen, France might be this era's superpower internationally, but we're going to be the ones that are going to be competing right next to them. And I don't know if you remember Camps Dos Locos last year. I said to you, like, I think Ronaldo might be the one piece that's kind of holding this super team potentially back. And if he retires before the World Cup, they might do something. And we was like, oh, what? Ronaldo retired before a World Cup? It'll never happen. But of course, if he's going to get dropped and now you're going to unleash the shackles off the rest of his teams, now you see what they're fully capable of. Bro, the amount of talent this team has, from Felix, the way he was playing today, even Bruno, we're going to talk about, because he's having the tournament of his life, bro. And Pepe, you touched on as well, bro. Like, from starting the tournament on the bench, locking up Darwin coming in, and then at 39 now in the knockout stages, you're scoring big goals, big performances. Brother, we seriously have to take notice of this Portugal team for the rest of the tournament. We're all saying, listen, Brazil this, Brazil that, but yo, today
the real Portuguese speakers are trying to load something as well.
I'm telling you, the originators, you man are our little bros. Remember that? Hey,
the real Portuguese speakers are trying to load something. But quick super chat from Ashaya. He said Cancelo dropped. Leao getting Eric Dyer minutes. Eric Dyer, I don't know what the second part means, but Cancelo dropped. It makes sense because Dalot came in.
Dallow's another one, bros. Even this
tournament, I like his mentality
coming on. Cam's been talking about him all season, about one of the best right backs in Europe this year. Bro, we have to acknowledge it at some point because now he's doing it at the World Cup as well. He's taken years to get to this level at United, whatever has been starting his development. But now he's at that level. I think when Jose came in, that this guy can really be a top level right back because Jose was gleaming about him when he signed him.
Do you know what's proof about what he's proof of? Loan moves are not bad. He went out, got game time, got his head down.
He should never have gone on loan anyway, bro.
He shouldn't have. But in that situation, he went, showed what he can do, and people are like, oh, hold on, what are we using you wrong? Comes back, keeps his head down, gets back into the team. Loans are not a bad thing. Just go and prove that you're by it. But you can see he's developing as a player. But his performance today was great. But there's one man we need to discuss. We mentioned it, scoring a hat trick. We've got into the guy that was his predecessor that did nothing at the World Cup. We must discuss Gonzalo Ramos. We must talk about that first finish because there's nothing the goalkeeper can do. You know, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do.
That's a mad goal. That one is a mad goal. Like, because that came from nowhere, bro. And no, most of the times when things go near post, you say, "Oh, keeper could have done better there." That one
Can't do anything about
hit that. You know what I'm trying to say? Hit that, and his whole performance in general, the way he was running in behind, the way he was getting about, it was a very good performance. And he was like allowing Felix and these guys just spaces to operate, and he'll drag people around and stuff. And for him to get a hat trick, honestly, Fernando Santos is gonna walk into his hotel room and just smile in the mirror, bro. Because when you make a big decision like that and they justify you with a hat trick, bro, a hat trick, that is different. And the worst thing is, people were saying maybe Leao or someone else should start or whatever at the time when they saw that Ronaldo was in the team. People like Ramos came and done his thing. And bro, honestly, you man were touching on it earlier. Fernando Santos, that is he is just feeling good. That is a big justifiable decision. And going forward for the rest of the tournament, he has to start.
Yeah,
he has to start. I'm sorry, hat trick in the World Cup. If you do that in group stage 1, I'm like, okay, that's good. Do it in the knockout rounds. He has 3 knockout round goals. Some men have not even got a knockout round goal in their career. So when you're looking at him there, he's got 3 knockout round goals, and the team looked good. That's the best performance I've seen for Felix. You know what I mean? I'm like, that can't be the same guy that Diego Simeone said is making look like a plumber. It can't be. So when you've got him playing like that, you've got Bruno still doing what he's doing. You've got Bernardo Silva, who I think is their best player overall. He has to start. He is from going forward. It has to be this. And we were just saying, stick with your informed players. This guy's red hot. He might just be thinking, this might just be my tournament on a late run thing. You know what I'm saying? So right now, he's going to feel top of the world. Has to start, bro. And listen, Ronaldo, the situation with Ronaldo, he's just going to have to hold that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because whatever the reason was, some things are saying it's not because of his petulance the other day or whatever. It was a tactical decision. Even if it was tactical. So if it is a tactical decision and it's got nothing to do with punishment, there's absolutely zero reason why Ronaldo should start the next game. Because if it was tactical and you made a tactical substitution or decision and a man comes in and scores a hat trick, I'm sorry, you're doing you Haslam role. You know what I mean? The senior statesman in the team, say to everyone, you're doing well, you're doing this is what, and pass on your experience and let the boys fly, bro. Let them
what's he gonna pass on though? It's not like he can say, in that game where it was the knockout game, it was tense, but at time I run and scored. Like it's a very touchy one for him. But ultimately, like you're right. Like this tournament, at the age he's at, it shouldn't be about him.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
At United, though, he can't. I don't feel like he even wanted to do that kind of youth role where you're saying the elder statement to run that. I feel like for country, it is always a little bit different. And you saw that kind of in the Euros final when he got injured as well. I feel like this is going to be almost the biggest test of his ego, if you want to say. But if you really want a realistic chance of winning this World Cup and having one on your CV, stay out of the team. You can see how they look. You can see how your replacement look. And what you do is you go and give the manager his credit as well. You say, you know what? You might have been right, Chief. But I would say, listen, you're 100% right. You got to start with that.
I know the thing is, though, like, even if so, like, we just have to be realistic. Like, if you're not playing in this moment, Gonzalo might not score in the next game. Might score hat trick. You come off the bench and you try and make an impact in that way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And there should be no issues. The good thing is, so far, Ronaldo hasn't said anything. We haven't had anything, he was angry or anything like that. Fernando Santos has said his thing. We shouldn't even have to be talking about Ronaldo, because at 38 years old or 37, 38 years old, yes, you're the superstar, but you don't need to be the topic, bro. I'm watching all this. People are talking about Ten Hag is right and this and that. And bro, these things are non-starter stories anymore. The guy's 37-year-old free agent playing at the World Cup. Do you get where I'm coming from? And he's been benched because, let's keep it a buck, if it has nothing to do with his the petulance or whatever, he's been poor this tournament. Simple as. He has not been good this tournament. And they have just put their best performance out without him. Fine. So he should need to come off the bench and make an impact if they need it. And he's going to have to accept that role. The only issues now going to start coming. No, but the only issues that's going to start coming is we've never seen Ronaldo accept that. So What happens if they get to the semis? And now this is the furthest Portugal have ever been in his whole career. Does it start being behind the scenes? Does it start being like, listen, I got a start. I got who knows. But right now, Ronaldo
The one
is where it is,
what I
man.
said to that before going super chat is this is where having other leaders in the change room comes in. Pepe's going to be 40 soon. He's seen everything. He's been to 4 World Cups. They've played with each other at different level and everything. But that's where the other leaders in the camp go, listen, this is bigger than your career. This is all of our careers now. We need to do what's right for us and the nation. And I expect someone like him, like we said, real men originator, to be able to have a conversation with me like, bro, listen, I know you're tight right now. You got to let it go because there's a bigger mission here. But Luis Garcia says, we will pack anyone if Shaq will stay released. I can't lie. On the evidence, it is concerning a little bit. But we'll see, because there's a few tough games ahead if you want to go further. Adams
don't worry about that.
Adams is saying, if Bruno wins the World Cup, is he greater than Gingerbread Man on the other side of Manchester? I'm trying to see something.
No. Simple as that. What do you mean?
Is he great?
That's a silly thing. Let's not
let's not joke with that one. You got to do a lot more than winning the World Cup.
He's having a good tournament, but KDB is clear, bro, and he needs to. There's a lot of you start mashing at club level, mate. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe it could be a conversation.
Temi Tope says, been seriously thinking, lads, can we truly call someone the GOAT, the greatest, if they don't win 1 World Cup? It's techie because there's some nations like you're never gonna win a World Cup. Do you get it? And World Cups is one of those things where it's like it's so hard. Like it's actually to win a World Cup is difficult. That's why there's not more than 6 or 7 teams that have won it. It's not an easy thing to do. Like you have to be in the right moment, right place. Everything has to be good.
They must. Must. The thing is, I get it, but this is the thing, yeah. This is the thing about the whole Ronaldo Messi era, is that the Ronaldo Messi era, there's lots of other reasons, but they also contributed to why people stopped taking international football seriously, because they built such a stan culture. They built it over this social media thing, and they destroyed club football to the point where people start saying, oh, it doesn't matter, to the point that these guys were winning Ballon d'Ors and World Player of the Years or whatever, while others have won World Cup. Back in the day, if you win the World Cup, you're going to get the Ballon d'Or or whatever. These guys broke that. They were just winning, blah, 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 blah. So these two have contributed to people kind of saying, oh, well, it's not that deep. But every other GOAT that's in the GOAT discussion has won a World Cup. Every single one. Except from them two. Because people now don't
know who else has won one?
Value it. People don't value it anymore. Zidane, Ronaldinho, R9, Maradona, all these names that are in it have won World Cups. But because this new age has just said, stats, and everything, we've downplayed the importance of a World Cup. So,
do you know who else has won the World Cup?
Who?
Mr. That does that. Mr. Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Mr. This has won 2 World Cups.
He's on trajectory, bro. He's on trajectory. He's on trajectory.
Second maze, yeah?
No, I said, remember, he did this. He did this. He's loaded something.
He did this. Man, you're freshening it up, man. You're freshening it up. He did this.
It's a Steph Curry. He don't know, innit? He don't know.
Bro, I'm thinking, bro, what's this?
That's too funny. But no, that game was that was mad, because obviously the day before we had the Brazil game, which I know Liaz was on FTB Final Whistle talking about singing the song, but that performance moved me. That Brazilian performance moved me. That performance moved me greatly.
That moved me a little bit. That was nice. It was. It was like this Portugal performance today. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was kind of like that. But I'm talking about in a way where it was kind of like champagne football. You felt like it was champagne football. We didn't talk about João Felix, who I thought was absolutely outstanding today.
Good shot.
But we'll talk about Brazil. But I think the reason why I enjoyed Portugal's a little bit more today was because of Felix, because I just felt like they had that one. I always like when a star man performs. You know what I'm trying to say? And he rose today. But yesterday it was a good team performance from Brazil. It was a very good team performance. And South Korea, though, this is the problem about having all these upsets in the group stages. South Korea are mid. they are like super mid, bro. Do you know what I mean? And realistically, they shouldn't be at that level. Let's keep it 100. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But Brazil exploited that, and they were making sure they're not part of none of this upset talk. You know what I'm saying? So big them up, and I still think they got another gear to go to as well, but there's going to be tougher competition. They ain't going to play like that against Argentina if they get through. Let me tell you that. Yeah, they ain't playing like that. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that's what annoyed me about yesterday's Brazil's performance. I wouldn't say it's the same level as Portugal. I feel like Portugal the whole game were trying to go at it. I feel like Brazil got their 4 goals halftime and then said, you know what, we don't want to embarrass the Koreans. They're so respectful, and let's not embarrass them type of thing. And second half, they just kind of took the brakes off. They put the brakes on, to be honest, and they were doing goalkeeper substitutions at one point. I was like, nah, you man are taking a piss, man. So I don't know. I think what you said is correct. Though. I do think they have a few more gears to go through, but in a game where Neymar is coming back, I think that was kind of the perfect get your match fitness back and get everyone's juices flowing, especially after losing to Cameroon in the last group game. You thought, was that a little bit of a reality check for Brazil's depth? But you saw once the first team's back in now, they look a little bit more serious. Paqueta and a little bit more deeper. I thought was much better. I thought my boy Richie, once again, knockout.
My boy High.
My boy High. Hey, listen. You lot are hating. Just because, listen, I might not, support man too hard when he's in the Tottenham colours. I said, that's a different man. You got to respect that, R9 is. I don't know about Richard for Spurs, but I know about R9 for Brazil. That's a different man.
No. Listen. We're really getting me mad out here. We're really ruining. Listen, football's already going in a direction that I'm kind of not comfortable with. Let's stop calling this guy R9. Listen, disrespect. His name is Richarlison. That's it. Or you can call him Richie. You can call him Prue. R9 is a sacred name in this game, yeah?
Hey, right. Listen. Guess what?
On sacred names.
Stunning performance, though. Guess who wanted to come speak to the big man himself?
He's doing press duties, mate. He's just doing his job.
Hey. When regular season Premier League was on and Ronaldo got a whole club via the lid to run, who does he want to go take his Saturdays off to come and watch at North London?
Can I ask you something?
When you get the co-sign from the man himself, there's no denying him.
Let me tell you something.
You like
the R9
here.
Listen, the R9 co-sign is whack. This is the same guy that did big announcement video for Martial at Sevilla. Listen, don't joke with that one, bro. R9's talent ID is mid. His talent ID is
Speaking on sacred names, we got a super chat from the one and only Pep Guardiola that says Pele will forever be the GOAT. He won 3 in a racist era. Do you know how funny that is, bro? Man said,
Pele in a racist era. I Pele, man.
Get better soon, man.
Big up, man. Prayers up to it, well, man.
We got one from Fuego19J, which says Thiago Silva assists to Richie, 30 years old and still balling on the big stage. Imagine if he wins the World Cup to call it end of legendary career. Listen, man.
I am still laughing about that Martial announcement. Bro, I completely forgot about that, Yo, man was looking up like, Idola. Yo, scored 0 goals.
0 league goals.
Nah, man, I'm dead.
Listen, man.
Yo, R9 don't know talent.
R9 running to the Charlotte Hornets. Hey, man.
What's the team he's the CEO? Is it how do you pronounce it? Valladolid or whatever it's called.
Valladolid.
Yeah, that's the team that he's the owner of, innit? He bought them and they got relegated, Let's not talk too much about that one still.
These are the Brazilians their talent ID shaky. I remember Cafu gave a co-sign. Bro, Cafu gave a co-sign to flipping
Michael Richards.
No, that was
Carlos Alberto.
Yeah.
No, bro, you might have forgetting. Cafu gave a co-sign to flipping John Flanagan, bro. He gave us.
Oh my god,
I remember
that as well.
I
He said
remember
he said this could be my successor.
Successor,
John-
yeah.
John Flanagan retired today. You know, he retired. He's retired at 29. Come on, man. Listen, don't even Brazilian.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, all I'm
No,
saying
but
is,
you know it is. It's because they're religious. They're religious. So
Richie's
like for
doing it.
them,
religious hype.
it's not about
Richie's
tech. It's
doing
about I have faith that something will happen. It's not that they're looking at the performances and going, "Oh yeah, this is." They just have faith that God will bestow talent onto you. No, address what's in front of you,
Bro,
But-
it's crazy.
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
No,
Hey,
that's
listen,
too-
we got somebody backstage waiting like The Rock. Announce yourself. Rise. Rise.
Real man hype, huh? I invested all my stocks in Serbia. I even got a gym membership for you after that
Right,
speech.
listen.
I ordered off my protein, got my shakes ready, everything. Real men. Real
Listen.
men. 1 point. 1 point. Cams,
First and foremost,
you owe me money.
listen. First and foremost, I told you guys the Serbian diet is raw meat and fight bears. I did not tell you go gym. I told you
Fuad.
raw
Hey, yo,
meat,
Fuad.
fight.
Fuad. Hey, Fuad.
Hey, I'm done.
Hey, Fuad.
Nah, Kamzovic has gone too far. Kamzovic has gone too far. I'm sick of this guy. Cut his mic.
Man's talking about catching
meat.
salmonella. What talk about the
Nah,
football?
nah. If you went and got protein shakes and that's on
Bro,
your
I
own.
can't even lie to you.
I
Let me be
never
real with
advise
you.
that.
You
I never
banked on
advise
the
that.
wrong itches, bruv. You should be banking on the Modric's,
Mm.
Bronxovic's, the
Bro.
Kovacic's. You
Real.
banked on the wrong itches, boy. Listen,
Facts.
man, your geography was off, G.
Facts, 100%, man. Man, back the wrong itches, man. I'm disappointed. Honestly, I'm very disappointed. But yeah, man. Listen,
You're
pleasure to
disappointed.
be
How
on, man.
you
I'm
done?
a
You
massive fan of this show. Yeah, man, bro. I'm a massive fan of this show, man.
Hey,
Pleasure
geez,
to be on.
flipping, look at what our boys are doing at the World Cup, man, and then they're gonna come and stink up when they get back to base.
Pulisic, Ziyech, even Kai wanted to get a couple little goals when it was too little, too late. And then when they come back to Chelsea, it's going to be stinky. But do you know what? Yeah, I like to separate my international football from my club football. Do you know what I mean? I like to separate it. It doesn't really, the stocks don't translate. Look at R9. Do you know what I mean? He's calling him Richard.
Tell him.
It doesn't translate. Do you know what I mean? It's a different language. You know, on Google, you say detect the language. This one don't even come up. Do you know what I mean? This international football don't even come up, man. People are just all over the place in this. So, yeah, for me, even when they come back to Chelsea, I'm still grading them on as what they do in the blue shirt. Do you know what I mean? In the P&P Premier League, when it's time for Ziyech to hit a Traore pace, you know what I mean, up against the fullback, he hasn't got that pace. So I don't know, it's different, but he's been incredible, man. Unbelievable. This Moroccan team is
Chelsea
serious.
hype. Listen, Matisse, what has your views on who did you back for the World Cup?
I think I had Brazil as my favorite. Yeah, Brazil is my favorite. Argentina, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that impressed. Like if
Who's
Messi,
your dark horses? Who's your dark horses?
my dark horse, I think it was Serbia because I can't lie.
Bro, you let down people the false straight
That's what he
lane.
does. That's what he does.
Then
Just
That's what you
subscribe.
There was so much vim in his voice, like. "Urgh."
Leao is crashing it on his head. Serbia have crashed out. Hey, Cams is on. Rule of Cams is on this World Cup.
Look at
I'm
this
telling you.
Fuad is trying to live another day to see another day. Didn't you hype Uruguay? Oh, there we go. You're not saying
Uruguay?
it.
What do you mean
Who's your dark
Uruguay?
horse? Who's your dark
Uruguay
horse?
were my dark horse. They went out.
Yeah, there we
Calm.
go. There we go.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
explain why. You know
Everybody's
why?
dark horses.
And I explain why. Do you know why? Because we relied on Darwin Núñez.
Mm.
You saw the buffoonery that was going on up front. You saw my boy Benton Cole pulling out well.
You know what this is?
It's only so long we can do it.
Listen,
You guys ever watched
Mitrovic did what I wanted him to do. That's it.
You guys-
Mitrovic. What can I say?
You guys ever watch the Lloyd's TSB adverts? Do you know what I'm saying? They look nice, but no one ever actually goes to that bank and actually puts money inside. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. These dark horses are frauds. They're frauds. You can't cash that money. You can't. You know you can't. Nah, man, I'm hurt. Honestly, all the dark horses have been dreadful, man. No one really gave Morocco their flowers. Japan is a team I knew would do well, but I was like, do you know what? Maybe that group is a little bit too hot. but they topped it. It reminded me of Costa Rica when they topped the England, Uruguay, Italy group. That was insane as well. So now Japan, I think the one that brought me most joy was Japan and even Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia played some good football. They just couldn't finish. You know, they started the conspiracies about the football. Like, I don't know if the football's really the right size. Is it size 3 footballs? What's going on? You know what I mean? All these little conspiracies started because they couldn't finish.
Hey, listen, let me not go too left, but Saudi did what they needed to do, man. They performed better than Qatar.
Actually,
I'll leave it there.
I just told a lie as well. I didn't even have Uruguay as my dark horse. I had Holland as my dark horse.
No, you didn't, bruv.
Yes, I did.
That was your second.
Yeah, two.
No, I had no. I had two. Yeah, I got you now. This guy lying. I spread misinformation.
You had two.
This guy lying, bro. You had two, bro. You're like Uruguay, but also I'm gonna go to the Netherlands. You don't even believe in them, bro.
Flipping. What other games did we have? Obviously, we had
the Netherlands.
Yeah, we spoke about that game, though, no?
Yeah,
you weren't here. Remember on the weekend, innit? We spoke about that game.
Oh, yeah.
So those were the only 2 games that we missed, innit? Because obviously, you know.
What do you think about round of 16 in general,
bro?
I want to talk about Fred too. Actually, Fred, you can. I don't want to paraphrase, but you said basically based on this round of 16, like on top of what you saw in the group stage, this is definitely the best World Cup for you. Speak to me on that.
So far, for me, I think from what we saw in kind of the group stages, for me, group stage was full of first half you get a 0-0 draw, but then the second half was where you always kind of got the drama. Whether that was top teams balling out with Spain, or whether it was kind of Japan surprising teams, Saudi Arabia surprising teams, the drama in the kind of Ghana Uruguay situation. There were so many narratives throughout the group stage. For me, I was like, I don't recall other World Cup group stages being this dramatic and having this many narratives. And I said going into this tournament anyway, there was going to be a lot of kind of, it's the end of an era for a lot of these men here. So we're going to be monitoring so many of these teams. And you look at what we've seen now in the kind of knockout stage. You've seen Brazil ball out. You've seen Portugal ball out. You've seen a surprise again with kind of Morocco qualifying with Spain. It's like you've seen Holland knock out. You've seen England get back to the level. So that's creating that buzz as well. And then I'm looking ahead also to the quarterfinal fixtures, bro. You look at it, England, France, something's going down in that game. Like you've got Messi versus Holland, Argentina again. You've got on the other side as well, you've got Brazil versus Croatia. So you've got another exciting game. For me, the way it's set up to almost be the best World Cup I've personally ever seen. And regardless of who wins it, there's a storyline there, in my opinion. So for me, that's all I can answer for.
No, I hear it still.
2006 for me, entertainment-wise and surprise-wise, was up there. I think 2014 was another one for me. And 2002. Those are for me always been like my personal top 3s. But now
let's know in the comments what your best World Cups are. I want to quickly go over some of these super chats. Yo, what's good? Said thoughts on Alisson's performance. Alisson just keeps doing what he does, man. That's all I can say on that. Like as far as goalkeeping gets, like Alisson, he's a freak, man. That he's just a freak. He's just a freak.
Do you think he's the GOAT? Do you think he's the GOAT? I saw some people talking about he's the GOAT.
GOAT conversation. You know what? Let's take this one step further. Yeah. What gets you into the conversation to be a goalkeeper? Because obviously when Neuer came in, it was about playing with the feet and shot stopping. That's what elevated him there. With Czech, it was just purely like goal stopping ability. Like what actually gets you into the conversation?
For me, it's
greatest all-time goalkeeper.
5 to 10 years of dominance where you are renowned in that debate for number one spot. So that when you had like an Oliver Kahn, a Buffon, Neuer, you knew those guys were undisputed top 3. Schmeichel even, yeah. But for someone like an Oblak, for example, he had that 2-3 years. But that longevity for me, especially as a goalkeeper, even longevity matters even more for me. And then also, let's be honest, consistency and what you win within that as well. And you look at Alisson, he's pretty much won everything at club level, and you can't deny that he's played a massive part in that. If he goes on to now lift the World Cup with Brazil, he starts to enter the conversation, but then comes the longevity thing. You start looking at kind of Neuer's body of work. You start looking at Buffon's 20 years or whatever.
That's the thing. Is he as dominant as Neuer and Buffon was? Because just last year when Courtois got man of the match in the Champions League final, I was hearing about him being the best goalkeeper in the world after that incredible play. So I feel like with Alisson, it's been juggling around too much. Do you know what I mean? it hasn't been. I don't think it's been just purely undisputed dominance. Like Buffon and Neuer in particular, I remember no one was touching them. No one was talking to them. They weren't in the same WhatsApp group as anyone, just by themselves, just doing what they do. Whereas Alisson, I feel like even Edison, they was even trying to link him to Edison. I don't know. That was a bit too much. But, so I don't know. I feel like he's been incredible. He's world class, but I don't think he's the GOAT at all.
I would agree with that.
I just think people throw around GOAT a bit too much. I feel like people need to start by saying this guy's the best of his generation, and then maybe let them carry on, and then maybe take it from there. Since Alisson's been in the Premier League, has he been the best goalkeeper overall in the time he's been here? He probably has. Yes, he has been. You know what I mean? Edison's been good, probably won more Golden Gloves or whatever, but I would probably still say it's been Alisson, right? So Alisson's been the best for what? Probably 3 years in totality, 4 years in totality. Just start by saying that. I feel like going around and start saying GOATs when people have done 10 years of certain levels or whatever, it's just too far, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Everything nowadays has to be GOAT this, GOAT that, GOAT this. Just, yo, is he the best goalkeeper currently? Is he the best goalkeeper of his generation right now? Yes. But even everyone gets obsessed with all-time debates, like who's going to be the all-time goalkeeper? Like, bro, first of all, who the hell cares about goalkeepers? Second of all, it's the fact that, like, you know what I mean? Like, why do we always have to do all-time 11s when talking about a player? Like,
do you know what I'd say on the goalkeeper thing though? Yeah, sorry for just a quick one. I feel like with every other position, yeah, there's more than like one person on the pitch. You get with goalkeepers, there's so many. It's like you have to be like outstanding to even have those sort of conversations. Like with Neuer, Neuer was on top for so long. But he added this element to football for as a goalkeeper, which was so mad, which is like, yeah, he kind of supersedes what we thought of goalkeepers before. And I feel like with goalkeepers, that's a very, very key part of that. Like Peter Schmeichel, there was a lot of talk about how he played the game, completely different to goalkeepers before him. Buffon was just someone that was been on top for so long. So I think it plays a massive part, but there's no way you can't say Alisson is not a fantastic goalkeeper. But like you said, I think sometimes just enjoy the moment that it's in and say that he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League or he's one of the best around at the moment. Goal talk for goalkeepers isn't even what they want. Like,
yeah, there's loads of things, because do you do it by success? Do you do it by their ability levels? Whatever. For me, the best keeper, probably Neuer, but probably because he revolutionized the game. That's probably why I'll go with him. But everyone else, bro, there's been phases where everyone's had, like, loads of keepers have had good periods. Alisson's had this great period. I remember Van der Sar had a great period. Peter Cech, unbelievable period. Khan, all these keepers that we're talking about, they've all had great periods. The only reason I'm going Neuer is because he changed the game. I mean, when have you ever heard people trying to copy a goalkeeper? Everyone started trying to be a Neuer. Like, when the hell do you hear that? You know what I mean? So that's why I give him his respect.
Do you know what he deserves respect for? Yeah, you know how you used to have, like, not used to, but you have like striker coaches and stuff like that. This guy had goalkeeper coaches doing sidewinder tutorials and stuff. Here's how to kick the ball at 90-degree angle. Here's how to play out of position. This guy was giving people employment because of how much he changed the game. Remember when everyone was doing, he could play centre mid hype?
Yeah,
that's the original. Not Trent. He was the original. He can play centre mid hype. That's how much of a revolutionary goalkeeper.
He would have got run over, man. You don't ever try that, bro. Don't ever try.
I think we could have done a little Regista roll, man. Do you know what I mean? Just little Moy for Australia. Just pick it up, pick it, twist it, turn.
Get Declan Rice around him. So, mate. You know what I mean?
We've got another one from Felipe before we go into like the quarterfinal fixtures. Big up, lads. Great show. Can't handle a Portugal versus Brazil final. My agendas on Neymar Ronaldo will kill me. Alisson Becker, real men talking it. We've spoken about Alisson Becker.
Have an agenda against Neymar Ronaldo. Felipe.
They're born on the same day, to be fair. They're born on the same day. Maybe just look like people that are, Aquariuses. No one was there. Maybe that's what you a gal. No, I have the same birthday, you idiot. I have the same birthday, you idiot.
What's your star sign?
I have the same birthday, you idiot.
This ain't real men chat.
Man said Shade Borough.
Maze has been flirting with.
Crazy. Man said my agenda's on birthday. What I was saying, birthday flipping. Portugal Brazil final would be based on the football they played would be mad interesting. but I don't know if we will get that.
I said
But
Aquarius.
bro,
Real woman hype.
I said real
I know
woman,
about the
dog.
aquarium. I don't know about what you're talking about.
You're dumb. Here's another one. Do you
Talking
think,
about moon and that?
you're dumb? We're saying what the
Moon
grand rising and that.
Yeah.
Well, got one
Yo.
from that football G. Do you think CR7 media agenda is a bit overdone?
Let's
Yep.
see. I'll let you, one of you to answer this.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
understand what CR7 media agenda is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. I personally don't understand what it is. I think with him, yeah, it's one of those things where he enjoys things being about him. We can't take that away. That's why you're going to do an interview with Piers Morgan. Like, he enjoys things being about him. Even the pitch that Fua tweeted when everyone's doing a warm up and he's just standing there. He knows the camera's on him. Like, he enjoys that. So I don't think there's a media agenda against him. I don't think there's any of that this stuff. It's just that ultimately, if you make yourself the talking point, you're going to be the talking point.
Yeah.
You don't even have to make yourself the talking point to be the talking point most times. So, like, for him, if you put yourself in that limelight to be talked about, they're going to talk about you, and that's what he wants. So at the end of the day, I don't think that it's overdone. He positions himself in a place to be spoken about. Like, I'm seeing stuff where we should be talking about a 6-1 victory, like Cam said. We should be talking about 6-1 victory, and what we're talking about? We're talking about, will Ronaldo kick up a fuss to play the next game? That's his doing. That's not
My
anything
thing
else.
with the Ronaldo thing, the only thing that I'll say is an agenda. The thing that I'll say is an agenda. There's two things, right? I feel like, aside from everything that he's done and stuff, we already know that's the stuff that he brings onto himself. You call an interview, you do all of this type of stuff, that's on you. But the constant showing him when the team score, that's an agenda. The constant showing his face when he's warming up, that's an agenda. Do you know what I mean? And also, one thing that I'm starting to see is people are so trying to they're trying to rip off what this guy has done in the game, bro. Like, just because you're not feeling Ronaldo at 38 does not mean that this guy is not one of the greatest players to play the game, or he's not a legend. I'm seeing too much people now starting to try and do this whole, I can't believe that I rated Ronaldo for this long. I can't believe I was ever debating Messi or Ronaldo. Like, less of that, bro. Stop trying to fish likes because Messi's the one that's doing things right now and that. You know what I mean? That's what I don't like. People are overdoing that. But other than that, everything else he's brought onto himself. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but with that though, that's just the whole what do they call it? Messi sexual, Ronaldo sexual, sort of like fans that because you praise one, you go hyper other way with the other one. Like that's just one of those things. Like people just kind of go. It's the same way where people go. I'll go to the depths of the world to defend Ronaldo. It's like you don't need to do that. Like he's one of the greatest footballers ever. Like that will never change. But that's what people do when they want to defend or detract away from that. But I don't think that's a media thing per se. That's stuff on Twitter. That's literally Twitter. People coming out and be like, "Oh, by the way, he hasn't scored and this and that." So yeah.
But I'm telling you one thing though. I watch nearly every game on like American commentary and stuff, right?
You're saying what illegal streams?
Wait, talk soon. But you see the difference, between the English commentary on Ronaldo and the American. Is crazy. The Americans show him so much love, bro. Just love. And then you look at what the English say, it's so much more like kind of hating on him a little bit, a lot more. You really got to take in who you listen to, bro. Because they be influencing people, honestly, bro. Not even lying. Like, when I was listening to today, they were hyping Ronaldo. They were calming the situation down and that. The English channels, they be hyping that up, bro. They be hyping it. Like, because English, though, they're biased, though, innit? So, it is what it is.
MLS hype. Let's get into these quarterfinals though, because the routes that are paving out for the final are quite interesting. As I mentioned, you got Croatia, Brazil, which, as much as you'd want it to be, I know if you would say it's going to be an interesting game. As much as you'd want it to be an interesting game, I can't see it. I can't see it. Netherlands, Argentina is the one that we spoke about. That could be quite an interesting one. Memphis might want to show out, ruin the Messi party.
Yo, you listen. I'm starting to
Memphis,
Argentina. Everyone's saying I've got a Messi agenda. Weirdly, when I predicted him as player of the tournament and Argentina winners. So whatever you guys say, whatever he does, I'm cashing it in because I already predicted that. So you guys can say whatever you want. I've cashed it in. However, I'm actually starting to look at that game and I can see where the Netherlands can get these guys out here, you know. I can see it. I'm starting to sway towards the Netherlands side. I'm starting to sway towards the Netherlands. So Messi, he has to rise and deliver, innit?
Louis Van Gaal's army. Do you know what I mean?
I've said, I think the only thing that will get them out of that game for me is a Messi kind of virtuoso. I think Angel Di Maria has been a little bit underwhelming this tournament as well, in my opinion. But I think if Van Gaal lines us up the way he has been all tournament, game by game, I've been more and more impressed by Holland as the tournament has gone on. And I think, like Portugal, they've kind of grown round by round. I think Argentina have been there to got at, and they just haven't really come up against that kind of stiff competition. And I feel like we're kind of defensively solid enough, but can still pop up with a goal or two. So we'll see.
Do you
We
fancy?
not going prediction wise.
What do you fancy them to win though?
He said it in the last thing. He said that he thinks
I was
yeah.
I predicted before the tournament Argentina to get semi-finals. Now I've seen how Holland have been playing round by round. I said Holland quarterfinals were happy, but this Argentina game now I'm like, I can see us winning this and semi-final being kind of where we come a little bit unstuck. But yeah, personally, I've got us for a win. 2-1, I'm going.
Okay, that's a big one. What do you think, Matisse?
The chat are spot on. You see if this Lautaro guy starts, it's double homicide, him and Lukaku out the tournament. I'm telling you. You see when
that your boy Lukaku?
No, it's not my. No, we don't.
What did you call him again? Bold, beautiful.
No. Wait. Whoa. I called him R9 just like Fuad's calling it R9 to Richard. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, after that interview, much like yourselves, you know, with Ronaldo, you know how it goes. You know, we have to kind of, you know, dislodge and you know, detract and let them swim for themselves. But when it comes to this double shot celebration they got into Milan, listen, if Alvarez doesn't start, both of them are coming out because that guy's finishing. I couldn't believe what he was trying to do. This guy was trying to literally rub Messi out in front of the world with all that playmaking, and he just decided to miss every chance in every way, shape, and form you wish to miss a chance. This guy would find it. So for me, Alvarez has to start because he can at least finish. Yeah, with Holland, I haven't been massively impressed. Like you said, they've been getting better. But for me, the big difference was the last game when Depay played. Even though at times he was a bit selfish, you can see this guy. If I could take a Barcelona striker, if I could have chose between Aubameyang and Depay, I would have taken Depay because Depay is the better footballer. You can see it when you're watching him. This guy has a little bit of everything. When Arsenal fans are out here crying about listen, Jesus, I know he's not going to press maybe to the same intensity, but outside of that, in terms of on the ball attributes, if Arsenal need a cheap replacement for Jesus to get them the rest of the way, Depay might be the answer because this guy, he just makes this Holland team so much more.
Hey, they don't want Depay in London, man. He'll be distracted. They don't want Depay in London, man. Don't joke with that one.
You might see him on GRM Daily. Do you know what I mean?
We're gonna see him on Step Correct UK.
Hey,
we're gonna see him on Fashion.
Yeah. With Mitch, with Mitch. Picking out some fresh crepes. Do you know what I mean? Yo.
Hey, Arteta was saying, Alba's not coming training on time. You want to send breakfast to London? Don't joke with that one. Him and Fuad. No, don't joke.
Hey, that's funny. That's
100
funny.
for the chain.
Work. I don't know about the rest of it, but it would work.
No, I hear it.
It's been a close game.
Hey,
what's your prediction?
We could get more stoppage. Stoppage, bro. I've been dreaming of this. Bring him.
God's plan, fam. God's plan.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say this is going all the way to penalties, and then on penalties, I'm gonna side with the Dutch. I'm gonna side with the Dutch.
What is Tim Cool in that?
Listen, 100%. Sub him on. Is he even in the squad? Probably not.
He's not
even there. Do you know what I mean? But I think this is going to be very, very close. I can't predict these. It's the same with Japan, Croatia. I couldn't have split them. So I'm just going to go straight for penalties, and then I'm going to say Holland just get it on penalties. But it could go either way, man.
I think we're due an Argentina performance, which is not convinced is the wrong term, but they show something after seeing Brazil, and then that ultimately the next game, if they get through and Brazil gets through, is that one. And Messi's got that sort of knockout goal now. There has to be a level up of this. Like, you can be pragmatic and work your way to a final, but you have to start showing something. I remember we were talking in the last episode about how, you know, they brought on the Butcher and did 5 at the back, and it kind of freed them a bit, which was, you know, great. Well done for doing that. But what can you do from the start to make sure that you've got your optimized team? Like, how do you make sure that your best pieces are cooking? Fuad, you said that Di Maria's not been at his best, but we know that anytime Argentina do well, he's going to cook. So we're still due like a top performance for him. I don't think he's bowing out without a top performance. And I think this sort of Netherlands game is a great chance for him to do that, because, yeah, like you said,
or
you
could
guys
it
have got
be
sort
Di
of,
Maria can't break them out of jail no more? Messi, your time is up. Lautaro, you've let him down again.
I don't know. I don't know if that matches this one.
E.
I don't know if it's that one.
Messi v Van Dijk, yeah.
Oh, they're saying Emi Martinez for penalties. Actually, let me switch. Argentina win on penalties, man. Martinez is going to do a madness. I just realized, you know what? Because I clocked. Holland ain't got no goalkeepers, man. They're all 40.
Holland don't have a great penalty record as well, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Let me switch.
Penalties, even as we should.
Yeah,
I think it's not going to be an exciting game. I don't think it's going to be an exciting game. But the one thing that I think with like Frankie, I think with the fullbacks who are actually good on the ball and actually help the Netherlands in possession as well, I think it's going to be one of them games where Argentina might not actually have the ball. They're just going to be trying to do their dogged performance.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to have to dog it out and bits of quality.
But the thing is, it quickly might turn into dogging it out and then trying to hope that Messi bails them out. And he will have to try and do that. But I don't know if that's a tactic you can necessarily just always rely on. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm starting to lean towards the Netherlands. But Argentina are my winners anyway. So
hey, Miles Johnson, that's an hilarious comment. Man said Enzo x Frankie hoop mixtape.
I like that.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Let's go into the other side of the draw. Morocco, Portugal for me is an interesting game.
Yes.
Obviously, Portugal comprehensive win. Morocco have done 120 minutes. Yeah, there's 2 days recovery. But they will have to try and emulate what they did against Spain with a team which is much better in terms of transitioning the ball, moving the ball, etc. It will be interesting if Ronaldo comes back into the fold. It's Portugal's to lose based on the decisions they make, but I don't expect there to be a walkover. I expect Morocco to be dogged, like the spirit of Mina. Like what did you call it? Maghreb. What did Phil call it? I don't want to get it wrong, because obviously those are your man them. The spirit is there with them. You get it? Like they're representing. It's the last of a dying breed. So their fight is deeper than football right now. This is about representing. So I see it being a tight game.
But I swear,
I would want to say Portugal.
I swear Morocco centre backs missing. Have they not?
Size, or whatever his name is.
He pulled his hamstring in it from Wolves.
Yeah,
that was peak, man.
He's had a good tournament.
That's the captain.
He's had a good tournament. He's had a very good tournament. But I
don't know, man. I think that one. I'm still gonna go Portugal. I think it's one step too far for Morocco. They did everyone proud, but I'm gonna go Portugal for that one, man. I think they're on the momentum now. They're probably on a high. Then they'll get to the semi-finals and we'll see what happens from there. Boy, it's gonna be crazy, isn't it?
Size had a hamstring, and then like he wrapped it up. And
Aguerd,
they're saying Aguerd is out as well. So I didn't know if it was both of them or one of them. But if that is the case, I don't know who their backup centre backs are, but that is a massive loss, because like you said, they were defending with their lives. Like people were making blocks that I used to see, like, you know, the Gary Cahills of this world making those blocks, do you know what I mean, with the headgear on. So it was insane. But I do feel like now this might be a step too far. As much as I want to see Piccadilly Circus in raptures, Oxford Circus in raptures, Edgware Road in raptures, as much as I want to see London on a madness for this, I feel like Portugal now, if they stick with what they went with, because they even dropped Cancelo today. They played Guerrero at left back. They took Cancelo out. They didn't want to go with the inverted left back. So Dalot was playing brilliant off the right, a couple little stepovers and whatnot. So if he sticks to his guns and he says, do you know what, actually, I'm going to play I'm going to play the team, not the individuals. I'm going to play the team. And if he goes out there and does that, I feel like this will be a step too far, unfortunately.
Hey, one of the comments said the spirit of Haji, which is hilarious. The spirit of Fred.
Haji, street sort of forget, blood.
Haji.
Man.
Yeah.
You don't
Haji.
know
He
Haji.
didn't play for Morocco.
Yusuf
That's-
Haji.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other Haji for Romania, bro. I was like,
No.
It's Yusuf Haji.
Yeah, that's a funny comment. Still, that's a funny one. But yeah, the big one, England, France.
Baby food. France.
The silence is deafening.
I said England semi, and I'm sticking to it. The last episode, I said if Southgate doesn't conform and go 5 at the back and addresses the fact that France have not kept a clean sheet and they're there for the taking at the back, and the midfield isn't this powerhouse that it used to be, and that yes, they've got 2 demons on the flanks, but if you're attacking them, you can do something. I feel like England do have a strong chance of doing something here. I've also said as well, if Mbappe sees Rashford warming up, it could spook him a little bit. So, yeah, honestly, like I know Drew had said this is the Mbappe story, but I feel like this England can, at some point, Southgate has to overcome the big game tactical issue thing, and I feel like this is a great opportunity for him to do it. The Italy game, we know what happened there. The World Cup, we know what happened there. Great opportunity to show that I can not be the Nelly man. I can actually do this. So I'm going England, but I feel like it could be a cracking game. And I know people are going to see the last time they played each other. Did you see the clips of Mbappe and Dembele? I went to watch the comp. I saw the clips. I saw people getting dragged out.
Yeah,
I've seen
what else I saw in that clip?
Harry Kane 2 goals.
No, what I saw in that clip, I saw Oxlade-Chamberlain, I saw Phil Jones, I saw Gary Cahill. Let's not act like this is the same team, yeah? That's what I'm saying. Let's not act like it's the same team. It's a
James Milner as well, I swear.
Oh, come on, man. They're talking about this is what man was. I saw the
Hey,
Ox.
complete separately. Have you seen the Roy Keane video when he's talking about the England team and he's like, basically, yeah, and he's going, David James, you just, barely escaped relegation. Rob Green, he's not been great. Ashley Cole, to be fair to Bloy, he's not played. John Terry, he's just Heskey. I saw him. He scored 3 league goals this season.
Yeah,
rips into the whole team, man.
The whole team, bro.
His hate for England is something special, man.
Insane. But yeah, I'm going England.
Gonna do it. I'm back in England. Listen, France. This Mbappe guy, bro. This Mbappe guy is scary, very, very scary. But I'm gonna go with England, man. I'm back in England. I think with Foden in the team, I'm happy that he's found his way in. Bellingham in the final third has been crazy this tournament. He brought in Henderson, which I'm not a big fan of. I still rather probably Calvin Phillips or something, but Henderson did his thing in the last game, but he brought him in so Jude can be a little bit higher. England have weapons, bro. And the thing is, right, if it gets to 0-0, let's say it's 0-0, 1-1, whatever, and it's time to make those substitutions, I think England have the better subs that can come on and win the game. I've been seeing France's substitutions. Coman, yeah, he can do a thing maybe. Thuram, Fofana. I'm more confident with what England have coming off the bench that can potentially win you the game. So I'm going England, bro. And it's funny because you talk about anytime you mention England winning the game, everyone's always like, oh, England are never going to win. England never win. Then if England win, people are probably going to say France didn't have Pogba, they didn't have Kante, and all this type of stuff. It happens all the time. So let's just see. I think people are over scared of France or these teams. As we've seen in this tournament, everyone is around the same level. You are absolutely lying to yourself if you think France are clear of England, bro. They're not clear of England, bro. They're not clear of England. Brazil, all these teams are at the same level, in my opinion, bro. So they can win.
They are fairly balanced, but I feel like France have that one thing that you lot can't stop. Yeah, and it's Mbappe. And I feel like even Kyle Walker, who is kind of the Mbappe stopper supposed to be in this team, he's half fit and running on his last hamstring. So for me, I'm looking at it like, what do England have to negate that? So for me, I think there's this almost false sense of confidence that's now grown within the England camp of, yo, France aren't what they used to be. And I'm like, you lot are worrying about the whole team. I'm talking about one area. You lot are not going to, they're going to go to that one move. You know, like in NBA, when they go in the post, you got the big man in there, just throw it to him. That's what they're going to do with Mbappe every time. And I feel like England's best chance of winning this is to actually build their game plan around nullifying Mbappe, in my opinion.
That's what they're going to try and do. That's what they're going to try and do.
But then set pieces on top of that as well, I think are going to be crucial for England. They showed the last couple tournaments how big that is. And I think that they've got Harry Maguire in there as well. So you have to make use of that. I think that's where they can win the game. But France, I just don't see why England need to be. I just don't see why England need to be scared of France. Well, we're scared of Tchouameni, Rabiot, Varane, Koundé at right back. Or we're scared. Is this what we have to be scared of? I think that front four, there's not many teams with better chemistry with what Mbappe, Dembouz, Giroud, and Griezmann have. I think the chemistry we know about Dembouz, though. Dembouz, we've seen enough times when Dembouz has been inconsistent. Even in the last game, Dembouz was mid. They got him on the transition. You're looking at two teams that want to play on transition. France's best moments have been in transition, and so have England's best moments been in transition. So it's going to be interesting to see who's actually going to have the ball most of the game. I actually think it's going to be France, because England just naturally always say, hey, you have it, whatever. However, I'm telling people now, it's not as straightforward as people are expecting. Let's not forget, a lot of you people in the comments were saying France are going home in the group stages. Don't now start coming and act like you guys knew that France are clear and they're going to smoke this and da-da-da-da. A lot of you people said France are not getting out of the group stage. I remember, and I see some of you in the comments, because I remember people's names, bro. You can't write.
No. On the transition point, again, me and Phil were having this conversation. I was saying that the midfield battle, even though it's not like the most star-studded thing by what people would usually say, it's so interesting because obviously Declan plays a specific role for England, which he's doing well in. People probably won't understand it. On the other side, you've got their guys, and it's about, okay, can Tchouameni nullify Bellingham in transition? Vice versa, what's going to happen there? Because both teams just want to get it out wide and transition forward. The other side of it as well is with Giroud, it's the whole pick and roll thing. Giroud and Mbappe do that. With England, we've seen that Bellingham can add something going forward. Kane has got his goal now, so he wants to do stuff. With who you go with up front, Foden brings a different dynamic. Saka wants to be direct. It is an interesting game in terms of the lineups, etc. So I am looking forward to watching that game on the neutral. We're going to be going live straight after that game as well, so make sure your notifications are on because we're putting straight after that. But I am going to go England. I just genuinely think Southgate has to get it right eventually in those sort of games.
This is the thing. I'm looking at the comments. People are like, oh, look at what he's saying, blah, blah, blah. So now in a two-sided fixture, you're not allowed to say how you think one team might beat the other or whatever. No one's saying France are going to get smoked. I don't think that's going to be the case. I just think England have an opportunity. We got Foden, we got Saka, we got Kane. Why are we acting like this is a dead team? England are a good team, and they got people that can come off the bench and make an impact. The only thing that's really holding it back, the same way people were talking about Portugal, is because they think Santos and Gareth Southgate ain't going to be able to get over the line. But let's actually see. I
don't even think that's the biggest thing holding. I don't think that's the biggest thing holding England back. I'll be honest with you. I think it's the mentality. I think can they really come up against a big test and really feel like they can be the A team and take the game to them? I don't think this England team, even if Gareth Southgate sets them up that way, I think they could have a mental block. And I think we've seen that when they played Croatia in the semi-final. And I think France are better than that Croatia team that they faced in the last World Cup semi-final. So I don't know.
But look, you got to grow from the moments. Obviously, in the 2008 semi-final, 100% England didn't do good enough, right? But then you look at 2020, England beat Germany. People said it was the worst team ever, whatever. England beat this Croatia team that are now back in the quarterfinal of the World Cup. When England beat that Croatia team, everyone turned around and said, Croatia are old, they're washed, it's a rubbish team. Now they're in the quarterfinals. People are like, you should have made them your dark horses. Which one is it? Which one is it? Are they dead? Or did England just beat them convincingly? Like, you guys just...
The thing is for me,
you're not allowed to think England have a chance in any fixture. That's what I've noticed.
It's that left-hand side, right? Because we all speak about Kyle Walker, but Henderson is going to have to dig deep into his Liverpool DNA and pretend that that's Trent at right back and cover the crap out of him. He's gonna have to find that engine. He's gonna have to kick the crap out of Mbappe. He's gonna have to turn it into a British, Premier League. You know what I mean? Sunderland away tie back in 2010 with Asamoah Gyan. He's gonna have to make it that game because Theo Hernandez as well. I've been very impressed with him when he's bombing down the left-hand side. I think he's one of the best out there. I put him in my top top 5 left backs in the world. Saka's gonna have to help out. So it all depends on how that left. Because I think people are saying Dembele versus Shaw. Again, I could see how that could go wrong. But sometimes Shaw does actually step up to the plate, and he scored the goal. He scored the goal in the Euros. Let's not forget in the Euros final. Do you remember when we took the lead? So So the defense, I'm not confident. It depends on Stones as well. I'm not sure about Eric Dyer coming in there. I didn't like the fact that he was the option.
Can I ask a question? Is anyone going to talk about potentially that Foden might be playing against Koundé at right back?
I've mentioned this. They've not kept a clean sheet. They've not kept a clean sheet all tournament.
Is anyone going to talk about that Saka could have a good game? Or are anyone going to talk about that England can bring on Rashfords, they can bring on Sterlings, they can bring on all these players off the bench? Like, we're just talking about Dembele and Mbappe. Yeah, we know their threat. Do England not have any threat? England have no threat for France. Is that what people are telling me? Like,
they do, but Mbappe is the standout player on that pitch.
Of course, he's the best player in the world.
100%. That's what I'm saying. So we've seen a lot of games decided by the GOATs, Messi. We've seen the games decided by Mbappe. We've seen a lot of tight games decided by the guys. And that's where, because I think this game will be quite tight, then it falls on the best player in the world currently. And that's where I think things slightly will work in France's favour. But I think England have a chance, but I have to go with slightly France because I feel like Mbappe is on a mission. I feel like Mbappe is on a mission right now. He's a little villain at the moment, and he's there to take all this legacy away from, the Messis, the Neymars, the Ronaldo, all this legacy talk. If one of them win the World Cup, Mbappe's here to say, it looks like, I don't care about your legacies. You had your time. I was a kid with you on my posters in my door, in my bedroom doors. And I was thinking, yo, I want to be just like you. Now I'm out here. You guys are not getting you've had your chance to score your knockout World Cup goals. It's too late. It's too late now. I'm here.
He's the man. The thing is, Mbappe is the man. So that's why it's definitely going to be a tough game. This ain't going to be an easy game by any means. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's going to be the toughest game. I think whoever wins this one is going to the final, in my opinion. If England win, they're going to the final. If France win, they're going to the final. So this is a huge, huge game. I'm just saying, I hope if England win, people don't turn around and start making excuses that this has happened, they're missing this person, because I'm watching closely. That's what I'm saying. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Man. Got a young man said Messi to why Giroud will play with Stones and Maguire. Stones has been very, very good this tournament. Maguire's been good this tournament as well. And Maguire likes the physical as well. So like with Giroud, Giroud might do the pick and roll thing, but I don't think those two will be sucked in as most defenders are and then just leave Mbappe. I think they'll be aware of that. Like they're two competent Premier League centre backs. So I don't like it's going to be interesting, but I don't think it's going to be what we've seen where Giroud is just there holding up, slipping away. Like one of his goals, the goal where he slipped away from the defender and left foot finish. Like that doesn't happen in the Premier League. Like defenders know that you can't let Giroud do that. So
Stones, man, he's still underrated. It seems. That's what I'm gonna say, bruv.
Yeah,
Is he fit? Is he fit to play?
I hope so, bruv. I hope so. Stones, bruh.
But yeah, man. Listen, that has been another. Do you want to do champs and duds of this round?
You know what? I had there was somebody that I had, and I was like, damn, I need to do it midweek. But now it has slipped my mind. It has slipped my mind. You know what? Because Matisse, you have never done a champs and duds as you are new here. We still need to get you in the studio, though. We'll do a proper studio episode. However, who are your champs and duds of the week so far? You can include the last games as well if you need to.
That's a good question. Champs and duds. Well, I think Enrique for the dud, because I had such high expectations. And then to have no, just the decisions to play Asensio false nine, Lord Jesus, do you know what I mean? That really hurt my soul to watch that. So yeah, Enrique's got to be for me one of the duds because he's highly rated, highly regarded. I think Amrabat might have to get because some of the things I was seeing this guy doing extra time, the little close control, and I didn't know about him. I think he plays for Florentino.
Yeah,
I was just taken aback. I was honestly taken aback with some of the things he was doing in there. So he's got to collect some flowers. That's because that's one of the games I watched. I didn't get to see Brazil just now, so I haven't got one for them. I have to watch the highlights back on that.
Yeah.
But I think, and also yes, the Croatian goalkeeper has to get his flowers as well. But I do feel like the Japan penalties weren't great, so that's why I'm not going with him. Japan's penalties were awful. So yeah,
Morocco in general are good ones. I think Morocco in general.
Morocco, good one.
You think I didn't see you yesterday? You think I didn't see that tweet yesterday that you had to delete real quick? Yeah, you think
Hey, do you know what happened? Yeah, I'm watching the game as well. That's the worst thing. And I'm thinking, because I forgot who scored the penalty, and then I went, hold on, no, Neymar scored the penalty, didn't he? And I was like, fuck. I look back at the tweet, and it's like, does he know? And I was like,
for context that people don't know.
This without even Neymar scoring, and I was like, hold on. And then I started to think back. I was like, Neymar did score, and I was like, "Oh shit!" The tweet is starting to take off. Delete.
Yeah, it's too funny. He had that with Saka as well, you know.
Bro,
the guy's not serious.
From the stream, like, yo, how did I?
Bro,
what happened there?
The Saka one, was so like he could have just waited for 10 seconds. Should I post this? Literally. Next, you know, Saka, lovely dink. Everyone's just panicking.
It was the North London derby came out in him. Do you know what I mean? He just wanted to flex. He wanted to flex on the North London derby, but
people don't. So the context. Because I think we're talking over. The context is Brazil had scored their 5th goal, I believe it was. Was it 5th goal? Was it the 5th goal or something like that? Anyway,
It was 3-0.
Then Phil had said something about football. Brazil were doing something, all these goals, and Neymar still ain't scored. It's mad or something, bro. I was like, bro, you're not watching the game, and he deleted that real quick, bro. You deleted that, bro. Hey,
do you know the maddest thing is? I'm actually doing a watch along at the same time. I can't multitask.
You're funny, man. Champs for me, Morocco have to get champs. Gonzalo's got to get champ as well. I mean, first World Cup goal being you get a hat trick and a match ball is insane, especially for that first finish as well. Like we've said, certain men haven't even got knockout goals, so he has to get something. Duds, Spain, of course, but more specifically, all the penalty takers have to get fat duds, because you know when you're watching someone take a penalty and you're saying you're taking the piss.
Yeah,
you're actually taking the piss. Why are you so narrow? What's this little half step to the side? You're taking the piss. So all of them are duds, and I'm sorry, Switzerland have to get duds as well, because I'm so sorry. You can't turn up to like a knockout game and get brushed 6-1. I'm so sorry. In any circumstance,
injuries, bro.
Injuries hype. Injuries hype.
Hakimi, Panenka, crazy.
Clean up,
bro,
hype,
insane. Now Switzerland have to get done, because it's like what's the point of getting through all of these knockouts to get brushed all the time at the same stop, like Embolo hype, like all of this stuff. What's that?
Fernando Santos as well, I'd give
for champ. Yeah, that's a good shout. It's
a
bold decision. But I mean, Ten Hag, listen, man. Leader of men. He laid the path. He gave the blueprint. Ten Hag said, "Listen, if you want to succeed, these are freebies. These are freebies."
I'm not involved. Not involved. That's no longer our issue, bro. That's free agency, fam.
Oh yeah. By the way, before we go, Voldemort, if you join Al Nassr and you fail to start ahead of Abubakar and you fail to deliver the Saudi Premier League, because they've been trying to win it since 2019.
You know,
He must.
Maze is watching this on top of Qatari football as well now.
Wow.
You know like that?
Yeah.
I got to see that.
That's how
That's
he
what I'm saying.
Wait, when did you start watching Qatari football? Was the new stadiums got
But
you
you know, it's
excited?
mad. That's not Qatari. That's Saudi.
watching it
know,
when he started knowing about
listen,
Javi.
They packed up one of the stadiums today. You know, they put them in the
Yeah,
FedEx box, they're
the
taking that somewhere
94
else.
stadium. The
Yeah,
containers,
man,
they took all the
That's
containers
another
out.
one, you know.
That's a pop-up shop in Bond Street. That one, they're taking it away.
Another one is what's my man's name? Samuel Eto'o.
Oh, what, for punching up the...
Real men behavior right there. You know what I mean? Chat shit, get banged. Simple. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened?
He put apology out.
He slumped a reporter.
He put an apology out though.
Yeah. He dropped him. Man said, "What? I'm out of the tournament in Qatar. Somebody's getting dropped."
He put an apology though.
I didn't know that.
Hey, someone said that Eto'o punched up Lias.
Yo, Lias made a comp for him as well. You know.
Oh shit!
Hey, that's so nice, man.
That's too funny. Listen, man, we'll be back on. Remember, like we said,
Saturday
after.
this time.
Sorry.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We're back after the game, which is on Saturday, so not Sunday, Saturday. So right now, go and turn your notifications on so you see when we're going live. Make sure you're interacting. We'll be tweeting about all of the games. Like, share, subscribe, notifications on.
14K people. Let's get to 14K.
If you listen on audio platforms, make sure you go and like and leave a little review, figgy-majiggy. Leave comments after the video's gone up on YouTube as well. Get involved. Appreciate all of the super chats. Appreciate all of the support. Let's end the year strong, people. Got 2 days rest. Go and see your family. Go and get outside. And then we're locking in for more knockout football. Make sure you're there. Matisse, love for coming on, bro. I'll see you at the bridge. You know what time it is.
Yeah, FTBL final whistle. Wednesday will be back. Final whistle will be back on Friday, I believe it is. If that's when the first games are, that'll be me and Lias. We'll be back on. But guys, exactly like what Maze was saying. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 14K. We're on 13.9. Let's get to 14K, man. But good show, boys. Good show. We say 2 days rest, Maze. 2
days rest, man. I'll be there. I'll be there.
That time. Well, appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll see you shoot. Listen.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, wait. They said that you did Liao. They said that a lot of people were talking about Liao and saying that the rising thing.
Listen, the thing is, right? Why do people take rise as a diss? If I tell you to rise.
They hate pressure.
It's the new generation. You know what I mean?
Soft life.
Yeah, soft life. As soon as they cry, social services and that. You know what I mean? Back then we used to get beat. We used to get beat by our parents. Now,
cut.
Like,
yo, which belt you man got? Which one?
Subscribe, notifications on. As we said, Africa to the world. Never forget, we're out.
Do not let England win. That's all I'm saying, people. We're out.